As we're growing up, we're taught that sex is something shameful that we should feel guilty about. And so we tend to do it in complete secrecy, right? And this really limits our sexual experiences because making sound, making noise is one of the best ways you can both amplify the pleasure that you're feeling and control your arousal level. Hey, what's up guys? I'm Jonathan White. I'm here to help you master your sexual energy so you can manifest your ideal life. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon to stay notified when I release new videos and go live. Make sure you get my free ejaculation control course through the link in the video description below. In this video, I'm going to explain how you can use sound to both amplify pleasure and help control your arousal levels during sex. Most men don't make sound during sex. They're almost completely silent, right? And I think there's many reasons for this. A lot of it, I think, comes down to being afraid to express ourselves, right? There's this underlying patterns of shame and guilt around expressing ourselves sexually. And I think a lot of this stems from our masturbation habits. As we're growing up, we're taught that sex is something shameful that we should feel guilty about. And so we tend to do it in complete secrecy, right? We do it as quickly and as quietly as possible. And that transfers over into our sexual habits often, where sex becomes something we do kind of secretly. We don't want to bring too much attention to ourselves, right? And this really limits our sexual experiences because making sound, making noise is one of the best ways you can both amplify the pleasure that you're feeling and control your arousal level and have full body states of orgasm. So making noises during sex, it accomplishes many different things. First of all, it helps you to kind of communicate with your partner feelings of pleasure, right? Most men like it when their partner makes a lot of sounds during sex. If you've ever watched porn, you probably noticed that a lot of female porn actors make a lot of exaggerated noise during sex. And so we often find that desirable because it turns us on as well, right? And so when you make noise during sex, it communicates to your partner that you're enjoying yourself, you're turned on, and that you're feeling pleasure. And it often increases their arousal as well. Making sounds during sex really helps you get out of your head, getting out of the intellectual mind. You know, if you're stuck in like fantasy mode, you're thinking about other things, you're feeling nervous, you're not completely 100% there in your body feeling what's happening. Making noise is one of the easiest ways to get yourself fully into your body. It really activates your primal nature, right? Being completely in your body, completely in the deepest experience of sex, sexual pleasure, and intimate connection. Making sound also vibrates your body. It creates a physical and an energetic vibration that opens up more space in your body. And this can allow you to move the sexual pleasure that you're feeling in your genitals to your entire body. I'm going to share some practices you can use to start feeling this right away. But as I've mentioned in many other videos, the most important aspect to male ejaculation control and also getting into full body orgasms is not having the sexual energy that's building up, not having the arousal be limited to the space of the genitals alone, but being able to move it throughout the rest of the body so that the whole body gets involved. When all your sexual energy is stuck down here, it builds up a lot of pressure, there's nowhere for it to go, you ejaculate it out. It's over. But by using various techniques, one of course being making sounds, you start to open up more space so that the sexual energy can move through your entire body. And now you can hold much more pleasure and a much higher level of arousal without ejaculating and get into full body states of orgasm. So making sound amplifies the pleasure that you're feeling and it moves it through your body. This is a very, very simple thing to start working with right away. So now we'll get into the more practical aspects. What do I mean by making sound? This will be different for every person, but making some sort of vocalization, using your voice, using your throat, opening that throat space to make some sort of sound, specifically to create a vibration in the body. Now, I encourage you to experiment with different types of sounds, and I'm going to share some examples with you, and I want you to notice something as you make these sounds. So first of all, we're going to make a very guttural type of sound, like a low, almost animalistic groan or moaning sound. So when you make that sound, notice where you feel the vibration in your body. I feel my belly vibrating, I feel my pelvic floor vibrating. So it's vibrating this lower area of my body and it really draws my awareness down here. So now we'll make more of a medium tone sound. So just like an ah sound. So I'm gonna take a breath. Ah. So try that sound. Ah. I feel that more in my chest. It vibrates my chest cavity. Now I'll make like a high pitched sound. Ah. Or like a humming sound. It vibrates my head. So this is actually one secret to mantra practice. If you've ever done mantras like in yoga, meditation, most energy cultivation systems have some sort of mantra. And the true purpose of this, I believe, is to vibrate certain areas of the body to allow more energy to flow in that area, right? But we can use this to our advantage during sex. So now I want you to try something. What I typically use the most during sex is the more guttural, almost animalistic noises, the oh, because it really vibrates my genitals and I feel like that moves that energy in this space, right? So try something. Place one hand on your genitals and make that low groaning sound. Obviously you want to try this somewhere private by yourself, you're not out in public doing it, right? So place your hand on your genitals and just feel that space and then make the low guttural sound. Do it a few times. Just feel like you're an animal. Let your primal nature really be expressed here. Just notice how that feels. Notice what you feel in your body and notice what you start to feel. I feel my sexual center start to vibrate. I feel my belly area start to vibrate. And so this is important in opening up the body to full body states of pleasure and orgasm. So I recommend practicing with this. You can either start making noises with your partner. If they're not used to you making sounds, then tell them what you're doing. Say, hey, I'm trying this new practice of vocally expressing myself during sex. But I feel very confident though that your partner will enjoy, having you express yourself in a more primal way. And then it will often create more excitement and sexual arousal for both of you. But if you don't have a partner or even just in general, I recommend first practicing this by yourself and getting to know how making sound affects the pleasure that you're feeling and your arousal. So do this by, of course, self-stimulating, and don't use porn, definitely not. Don't use fantasy. Just connect with your body and what you are feeling. So experiment with every breath or 2 or 3, make some sort of sound. You can experiment with the different tones that I demonstrated, but notice what this does to your arousal state, your perception of pleasure and how you feel sexual pleasure in your body. Notice how it tends to draw you more into the sexual experience. You get less out of your head and more directly what's happening. And so this can really help you to clear up any blockages you have around sexual expression. I guarantee if you work with this practice, it will help you create much more of a fulfilling sexual experience, both for yourself and your partner. Because inevitably in this world of very skewed version of sexuality that we learned growing up, almost all of us develop some sort of shame or guilt around sex and sexuality. And so this practice can really help you to own your sexual nature, to enhance the pleasure you're feeling and learn to experience these full body states of orgasm. And notice how when you're making these sounds, it's much easier for you to control your ejaculation. So as you're self-stimulating or as you're having sex, as your arousal increases, really amp up the sounds, make louder sounds. See if you can make the sound for longer. So take a nice deep breath and really sustain that sound, and notice how it helps you to avoid getting too aroused, and you get this kind of sustainable state of full body sexual pleasure. So practice it regularly. Maybe the first time you do it, it feels a bit awkward, it's a bit different, but as you train, as you integrate this into your practice, I guarantee you will experience a much higher dimension of sexual experience. Thank you for watching this video. If you want to learn more techniques that will help you to master your sexual energy, experience full body orgasms, and last much longer during sex, check out my 12-week course, Multi-Orgasmic Man. I'll put more information in the description of this video. Please subscribe to my channel, give this video a like, and leave a comment below. Have a great day, my friends. And now I'll make and now we'll try okay, I'm just experimenting.